It's your boy Jake Gutter in the building, holding shit down. We're back at it again. We're gonna go ahead and do this review on the MapleStory's heroes here. First off, let's go over their equipment to do it here. I do like Phantom's equipment. I think that his set is like the only set like maybe worth it if you're going to get it. I don't know what the hell that was. Let's see here. Hold on, let me chase it down. Alright, here we go right here. So this is Phantom's. If owner has 2 or more buffs from active skills, critical damage increases by 15%. That is OP as shit. Increasing the critical damage by 15%, that's gonna really mess some people up. This with the increase in the wearer's attack by 30% for 4 turns, if he has the active buffs, this will do more damage than the Beast Rain all day. So I'm really liking this set, and I do think that this set right here, if you had to pick one that you're going to get, now I wouldn't recommend getting it before you get the soul gear, but if you're going to buy a package, this would be it right here. So this set right here is by far, I think, out of all the people's equipments that I've seen set equipments come, this is even better than Jen's over here. This is the best one that I've seen so far. It does have a little condition, on that, so I mean you couldn't go turn 1 and you know what I'm saying, get the crit damage, but still pretty OP. Unlike maps like Ice Map, to where you can steal the active buffs from your own teammates on your way up, he's gonna really mess some stuff up. So I do like this right here. We do have a bow, we do have armor, and we do have a brooch. Kind of wish it was a necklace, but it's a brooch, so I mean it is what it is. Next up, we got Mercedes set. This one increases attack by 1,344 and increases hit rate by 600, which is not bad. And increases the wearer's attack by 30% for 4 turns. That's not bad at all. Would I run it over a Beast Rain? I mean that 1,344 attack is going to catch it somewhat up, but not all the way, and increases the hit rate. I'd still rather run the Beast Rain over this. Now we do have a bow, we have armor, and we have a brooch. So I think that those are the only sets there. So I think that Phantoms would be the only one that you would get. But still, you'd probably run Beast Rain over a lot of them anyways. He'd probably be better with that Arrogant Pureblood set, just to make sure that he gets his second off and steals some buffs first. So that's going to be situational, depending on the map. But anyways, we'll get back into that. Let's jump into the heroes. We're going to do Evan first. So his first skill inflicts damage at the final numbers on the skill is 126.2%. And for the enemies that are at least 2 tiles away from Evan, increases final skill power by 14%. 14% is pretty huge. Now, anytime that you increase the final skill power by a percentage, it always does a lot of damage. Same thing with Syria. That's why she was so serious on Saturdays, when she used to have that passive doing massive amount of damages because of that. So I mean, this is going to hit hard. Now, the only thing that I don't like about it, now it has great range, to where I was kind of curious about making him a counter hero just to see how he did, because he does have high defense. It's not super high, but it is high defense, and he does have some pretty good HP there. His base attack, if I'm not mistaken, that's the best out of all area of attack type characters. That's pretty strong. His crit rate's decent. Hit rate's pretty good. Mastery is growth rate is slow, because I think they don't want us maxing out all the heroes too quick. His MP pool is pretty big there. His dodge is actually pretty high, but I still wouldn't build him dodge. So don't take that route. He's got pretty decent counter damage already too. His counter rate's pretty decent too. He's got 3 movement, to be expected. So I'm a little depressed at this. They could at least gave him the cross pattern with the skill, so that, you know what I'm saying, we could have really like went for the counter build. A single target counter build is kind of you know, not too happy with that. Okay, now his second skill here, which I do like, attacks all enemies in his path at, that one maxes out at 162.1% of attack, with a 80% chance of stunning enemies that are 3 tiles away from Evan for 1 turn. Loving this hitbox. That is a broken hitbox, super broken. I don't like how it's in a straight line, but it kind of makes up for it just by how far you can toss that. So he's gonna have like the Celeste hitbox. He's just gonna be able to toss that bad boy. But it's pretty cool because it covers the back too. Now, I don't really see that being too valuable in some aspects. I mean, maybe on square map, maybe you can position it to just, you know, if you had one person on one side and another person on the other side, you really mess them up. Loving this skill. This hitbox is super broken. I don't even mind the cross pattern just by how far up you can throw that. So on like ice map, you're going to be able to terrorize them. And on that other map, not the lava map, the other new map, this skill right here is gonna do some damage, because you could just toss that up there and just, you know, 80% stun chance. That is so broken. Now, if they come out with the soul gear and they address the stun, if they even jump it up to 90%, that's gonna be so broken. This skill right here is going to be super broken on ice map and that other map. So it's gonna make everybody get a stun immunity. You're gonna have to get it. This guy right here is going to make everybody get a stun immunity if he becomes very popular, which I do believe he will be really good hero to use. Alright, let's jump to the third skill. Now, it attacks enemies in his range at, that one maxes out at 173.8%. And if the targets are at least 3 tiles away from Evan, increases final skill power, that maxes out at 16%. With an 80% chance of confusing them for 1 turn. That is OP. Now, I don't really too much like the hitbox, because he is an area of attack. I wish they would have extended that an extra range, an extra tile. I think that they made it small like this to motivate us to get his soul gear, because I guarantee it that his soul gear is going to come out and add 1 tile range to this skill right here to make it that sweet hitbox. I guarantee it will. So that would be pretty cool. And if they address the stun too, that would be awesome. This is what I think 2 skills that his soul gear is going to address, because his passive I'm not impressed with, so I don't really see them adding the soul gear to that or adding the soul gear to his first skill. So it's most likely they're going to increase his stun chance by 10%, and they're going to add the 1 tile to this. Now, when they add the 1 tile to this skill right here is going to be broken as shit. It's going to be awesome. So super excited about this. Now, with him increasing his final skill power by 16%, that is huge. So that's going to really mess some people up. So don't sleep on this guy. He's going to shred through paper heroes all day. So I'm really liking him. Base stats are good. Skill sets are good. A little depressed about the single target on the first skill, but hey, we can deal with it. Now on his passive here is a little crazy. Increases attack, that one maxes out at 400, and defense maxes out at 400 with each kill. That's more of a PvE skill set right there, and it can jump up to 3,000 attack and 1,500 defense, so that's where it maxes out. So as far as in the Tower of Dawn, this man's he's gonna be awesome, especially you know what I'm saying? Because you know that it's very rare that you hop up on... Well, it isn't hard. You're going to run into it all the time. But there's always going to be those bosses who can be stunned or confused. So that's going to be... He's going to be very valuable in the PvE standpoint. So I'm really liking him. Curious to see the soul gear. If the soul gear does fix this third skill right here, he's going to be so broken. I'm like super excited for that. So, and they're going to add the skill damage also. So we're going to have to see what direction that they go with that. If so, he's going to be, man, he's going to be amazing. All right, next up, let's do Phantom over here. Now Phantom's HP is high, which I really like. His attack is pretty decent there too. It's pretty high. Crit is kind of but it's still good. His hit rate's good. Mastery's decent. Growth rate is slow. MP is decent. His defense is low. His dodge is pretty high. Counter damage is Counter rate is Movement 4. So this guy right here is a balanced hero. We haven't had a good paper balanced hero in a long time. So this is pretty good right here. So I am liking him. Now you got to keep in mind he's not going to be suffering from the Slime King. You know what I'm saying? So his damage multipliers are going to really help out here. Alright, so let's see here. His first skill here, powerfully stabs an enemy twice, ignoring. That one maxes out at 1400 of its defense and inflicts damage on the enemy skill range at 136.9% of attack. That's a pretty strong first skill, but hate the hitbox. Terrible. But he does have the 3 that he can throw it. I mean, whatever. You're never really going to be using him for his first skill, so we're just going to kind of ignore that. So we don't really care what that is. Now, this skill makes this man broken here. First, let's talk about... Well, let me give you the numbers first, and then we'll talk about it. Alright. Now, uses his ability to copy other skills to attack enemies in range at... That one maxes out at 156.3%. With an 80% chance of copying 2 random buffs cast on allies and enemies. That's the key word there. Allies and enemies in the range of applying them to himself for 2 turns. So this skill right here has good range, decent hitbox. Now, if his soul gear does the same thing, if it adds like a range to that, that's going to be so broken PvE wise. That's just ridiculous. Now, I did have my homeboy DM test him out, and like I sent him in on the mirror stage just to see what he can do, like how much he can copy, since there's like a million Valks there. And so he copied up to 12 buffs from Valkyries that were in that area. So he copied 12 buffs at one time. So not sure if you can get more, but he was able to acquire 12. And from what he was telling me, like her passive, you can multi-stack the passive, but it won't apply. Like you could only steal the passive one time. So like let's say you stole the passive from 8 Valks or whatever, it wouldn't just keep stacking because the man would be invisible. But he did say that you can keep stacking the attack buff. So you can keep stacking the attack buffs that the heroes do have. So this man right here is like super broken. As far as this skill goes, I haven't had the chance to go play with him, but it would be fun just to steal Valk's passive if you build him with super high HP, or if he's like a Golden Tiger hero and he's like the last one left and you freaking steal Valk's passive. Like, I don't know. I see a lot of creative things that we can do with this hero. I haven't used him yet, so I haven't even explored what all we can do with him. But this skill right here makes him super unique. I do know in the Tower of Dawn you can use this to steal some of the boss's skills and stuff and some of the minions, to where he's gonna be one of the Tower of Dawn MVPs all day. I can already see it with this skill right here. So he's gonna be awesome in PvE. And PvE, he's gonna be amazing. So I mean, that's all we can say about it. Tower of Dawn, farming or whatever, he's gonna be good. Now, as far as Battle of Honor goes, I can see this. You know what I'm saying? Especially you can come up and steal Krut's passive. You know what I'm saying? And just steal pretty much anybody's passive that's shows up as a buff, so you can steal it. So I'm all for it. Haven't experimented with them to where I can judge them to see how far we can take it as far as this, but man, I'm really liking that, and I'm curious to see once we all get him upgraded how broken this guy can be. I feel like out of all 3 of the new heroes, this guy right here is probably the most broken just because of that skill right there. And it's got a pretty decent damage multiplier too. I mean, 156.3% is not bad. I can see his soul gear probably addressing this to where it's going to bump it up to a 90%. Hopefully it doesn't make it 100%. If it does, that's going to be so broken. Just so broken. Anyways, let's move on from that. Third skill here is pretty high. Inflicts damage on enemies in the skill range at... That one maxes out at 190.3%. Which is pretty huge. And then his DO damage over time multiplier jumps up to 84%, which is freaking huge. If you don't got no DOT recovery, you're gonna be oh man, you're gonna be fucked. And on top of that, he has does 24% weakening. That's insane. 24% weakening, like all that you're getting from his third skill is just retarded. High damage multiplier, hitting all this stuff. But the only thing that's bad about it, well, with him, I can see that you're going to want to steal a buff regardless first. So that's going to be your first move. So I like it on some maps to where he's further back. You can just camp him out in the back to where you can steal like Valkyrie's passive or Krut's passive that's on your team and send him in there, to clean up shop. Because he's not going to be suffering from the Slime King. Loving this hitbox right here. So he's got the Yika hitbox over here. So I'm liking that right there. And I'm liking the skill sets, man. That's gonna really mess some people up. Applying that weakening is really gonna mess some people up. So I'm excited for that. That's a broken skill right there. To get all that, that's pretty broken. Now I know me personally, I don't run like damage over time recovery on any of my PvP gear, and I don't think a lot of people do, so you might have to slide that on to one of your accessories with this guy. I mean, depending on how strong you can make this person, you can make him pretty strong. So anyways, let's jump into his passive here. His passive is pretty trash. Okay, activates, achieves his attack, jumps up to I'm just going to give you the final numbers. So the potential that it could all the way jump up to is an extra 1500 attack and 1370 defense. So those are the max numbers there that they can possibly jump up, and that's with this bottom one that says 80 jumps up to 800, and the defense jumps up to I don't know, whatever. Those are the final numbers that it could possibly jump up to. Now his passive is not too amazing. Actually, I think it's pretty trash, but his second skill and his third skill are just so fucking amazing to where it doesn't really matter. His passive, you can have a shitty passive when you got broken skills like these two, so it really doesn't matter. All in all, if anybody's going to be a super broken character, it's going to be this guy. All day. Stealing people's buffs is pretty amazing. And it depends too. Like that was probably one of their main reasons for nerfing Demos. Can you imagine if Demos never got nerfed, right? And you can run this guy right here, and you can go ahead and just put him in danger and then use his second on your own Demos or on the enemy's Demos and steal his passive to where you're taking that fixed damage. You're already right next to Demos. You know what I'm saying? You can just keep stealing it while attacking him. So it would have been so broken beyond belief. It would be broken everywhere. So that's probably why they maybe had the insight of this, and that's why they were like, man, we're about to jump this here. Let's go ahead and nerf Demos. Like, I could see it. Like, I couldn't imagine. In Battle of Honor, this would have been terrible. If Demos wouldn't have got nerfed, I still believe they nerfed him a little bit too extreme. But if he would have never gotten nerfed and you were able to steal his passive of the fixed damage, which you would have been terrible. It would have been game breaking for the game. It would have took all the joy out of Battle of Honor. It would have just been terrible on everybody. So I'm glad that they did that. But still, with this guy, the sky's the limit, because we don't know what the new hero skills are going to come out with, and and when somebody comes out with that super broken passive, this man can steal it. So now you got two people with the broken passive. Just keep them next to him, or the enemy's going to be running one too. You know what I'm saying? So you just steal his. So I do like this guy. Definitely got my vote for being the most broken character as far as these three go. Alright, last on our list is Mercedes here. Now, they gave her, like, no HP at all. Like, her HP is so low. Her attack, is that attack higher than Crut's? I believe it is. It's either higher, let's just check that out real quick. It's either higher or it's the same. Uh, 11,731. Alright, let me just go see what hers was again. So 731. Oh shit, we jumped out of there. Barely. So she barely has more attack than crit. But her HP is hurting and her defense is hurting. You know what I'm saying? As far as this goes, she would have to be like a glass cannon. Which I could see it, man. I could see it. We'll check out. I haven't looked into her hitbox or anything. We kind of just make these videos on the fly. So her attack is the highest in the game. Her crit is really high. Hit rate's decent. Mastery is terrible. So they definitely want you to build her as a glass cannon because they want you to put necklaces on her. You're going to need to probably throw like 3 necklaces on her. That's why I'm a little shocked that her set didn't come with a necklace. That's a little disturbing. So you would have to at least throw a 2-star necklace, 5-star necklace, possibly a 1-star necklace. I mean, I don't know, man. This is going to be pretty rough to get her mastery up there. 66. Man, I think that might be the lowest. I think that's even lower than Valkyrie's. I'll have to check on that. But anyways, growth is slow, as of course. MP is really low, too. Defense is low. Dodge is okay. You're definitely not going to build her as a counter hero. That would be fucking retarded. Alright, first skill is a single target. Oof, that hurts. Inflicting damage at, that one maxes out at 139.1%. And if this skill was not used on the previous turn, this skill's final power increases by, that one is 12%. So, it's going to boost her up to 12%. It's still a single target. That is terrible. That is a terrible skill for an attack type character. Never, I had the same problem with Ragna over there is, why did they do this to him? Like, Ragna's second skill does a single target. Like, that is insane. This is an attack type character. They shouldn't be just hitting a single target. At least give them the cross pattern. The cross pattern should be a bare minimum. This is ridiculous. But for first skill, that's nothing impressive. Okay, second skill here. Attacks enemies at range at, the final damage multiplier is 157.3%. If this skill was not used on the previous turn, this skill's power increases by, it's a 15%. And increases Mercedes' attack by 525. For one turn. Now, increasing her attack by 525 is pretty I mean, why even bother to add it? Like, that's just ridiculous. That's not a lot, but she does have a big ass base, so I mean that is going to help. I think that all of her skills do stack like this, and my problem with that is she doesn't really get good until after the first turn. But she's a glass cannon, so it kind of makes no sense the way that they made her. Seems like to me she was destined for an arrogant pure blood set. I mean, I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're increasing all these final skill powers by a percentage, which is awesome. But if she can't activate them until the previous turn, I don't know. I have to test it out. Maybe on turn 1, since it's a new tile, maybe it activates on the first one, and then it starts activating when you jump around. You just have to keep on. If that is the case, I haven't got her. I don't know of anybody who does have her unlocked to test this out for me. But if it does activate the increase in the final skill power on her first turn, since it is a new tile because she's never moved before. Well, I guess because you wouldn't... Yeah, it would activate. Never mind. It would activate because you start off the map in a certain location and you got to travel to where you want to attack somebody. So yes, it does activate and you just have to move around with her. So yeah, so actually that's not too bad. So anyways, let's jump into her third skill. This is her bread and butter. Loving the hitbox. Attacks enemies at range at the final damage multiplier is 199.7%. If the skill was not used during the previous turn, it ignores enemies' defense by 2,650, which is which is okay. Defense ignore, so we're not tripping on that. And its final power increases by 23.5%. That is freaking huge, man. That is huge. And then increases her attack by 940, which is pretty fucking huge. So okay, so it says if the skill was not used during the previous turn. Okay, so all of them, you just got to rotate her skills. Okay, so it's not a tile, it's the damn turns. I read that wrong, sorry about that. So as long as you go from the 1-2 punch on them, she's going to be fucking some shit up. So that first skill right there is really going to, yeah, that is some broken shit right there. Now, if they give her soul gear that increases the skill power of this damage multiplier, she's going to be broken beyond belief. If they give her like a 20-something% damage increase or anything, any type of damage increase on this skill, she's going to be pretty broken. So I can see them doing that. They're going to, it's probably just her soul gear right here, because we can kind of guesstimate just by the simple fact of where her skill sets is and what she's lacking. This one right here, I can see them increasing the damage on the third skill, and then plus increasing the damage ignore by probably 1,000. So that's probably what her soul gear will do. And it will probably do something to fix her passive here. Shit, I didn't even write down her damn passive. Her passive is pretty damn boring. I'm not gonna lie to you. Her passive is fucking terrible here. That's probably one of the most boringest passives I think that I've ever seen. Oh wow, and it only increases by 100 each turn. So it's gonna max out at 1900. So Mercedes achieves one movement and ignores enemy's defense, so that's 1900. Holy shit, that's broken as shit. If she finishes a turn on a different terrain from the one that was from the previous turn. Okay, so she has to land on a different terrain, so it'd make it a little bit harder, but that's an ass load of defense ignore. That's like Dom level defense ignore right there, so that's pretty fucking OP right there. If they give her even more defense ignore, which I can see them doing with her soul gear, she's going to be broken to shit. She will be like the ultimate glass cannon. She's just going to get up. She's going to be worse than Jenny. She's going to really mess some people up. Her hitbox is okay too. I wish they would have gave it another tile and just, you know, if you're just going to make her broken, just might as well just go for it. I don't like the hitbox on the second. That's kind of Single target's killing her. But you can work with that hitbox. That's the same hitbox that I believe Banshee has on her first skill. I don't believe that that's as big as Jenny's. I think Jenny's got the 4 that it spreads out. Hold on, let's check that out real quick. So I do see some promise in Mercedes. I just don't know if she's going to be able to do the damage like Jenny over here, and you could throw the APB on her. Oh yeah, so she's got the extra tile. So her range is not like super like fucking super broken, but it's pretty decent. Now if they add a tile to that one, like we know that one of these characters are gonna get some soul gear, maybe even 2 of them that adds a tile to their skills. Hopefully it's not her, because if they add a tile to that and she's gonna have the Jenny hitbox, oh man, she's gonna fuck some people up with all that defense ignore that she has there, and increasing her skill power and attack. Oh man, she's gonna be broken. So it all really depends. We can't fully evaluate them, but I do see Phantom as being the most broken. Mercedes, it all depends on how the soul gear goes. Like, her soul gear is going to make or break this hero. She's either going to A, get the soul gear and be freaking amazing, or B, she's just going to be somebody that we don't use. Evan, I do see being... They're actually, all 3 is pretty amazing. Now, I did hear a rumor that we're supposed to be getting a 3rd character. I I haven't seen anything up on that, but I'm sure that we are getting one. It is possible. Somebody was saying that they had a co-op. Block open for another hero. I only see 3 there, so I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Oh, I guess they're right, because if there's only 3 heroes, shit, they got a 4th one. So yeah, they probably is dropping a 4th hero. So we'll have to wait and see what the 4th hero. We already know that the 4th hero will be a paid hero. So my advice to you would be to wait until you see the soul gear. Wait till you see this next hero, because you might want to just save up, buy the hero, and get his soul gear. They'll probably do a package for all 4 again, just like they did last time. So that might be worth getting, depending on their soul gear. And judging by the Blue Blaze character soul gears, this is their own people, MapleStory. So they're going to represent as far as making these characters pretty damn strong. So I'm pretty confident that they're going to do good. But I would still hold off on your crystals until you see the new hero that they will be dropping from this event. And wait to see what's up on that. Now we're gonna go over this Tower of Dawn freaking chaos over here. Tower of Dawn hell. I'm right here up on this one right here. I just didn't even feel like it's even worth it. Like, this is insane. There is no way that anybody's going to beat this. I personally, I think that Nexon made this just to see if they can find hackers. Like, they're like, yeah, let's put something out there impossible for people to beat, and let's just see if anybody beats it. Look, nobody's even, like, there's no people even close. I know that there's some people that are on, like, 116. I don't think anybody's on 117 yet, but there's no way you're going to clear this in time. Each one of them is ridiculous. I feel like they skipped hell and went straight to beyond chaos. Everybody has a retarded amount of HP and defense. Super broken. Now, these sets are super broken that they're handing out. I hope that they never sell them, and I hope that it's just for a Tower of Dawn hell. But I do feel like at this current state right here, I think it's going to bridge the gap between pay to win and free to play tremendously, because there's no freaking way possible that a free to play player can clear this Tower of Dawn hell. It's not possible. Now let me show you something here. I have 2 full sets of this Tower of Dawn. I got 2 full sets. So I got 8 pieces is what it boils down to. So I got 8 pieces. So if I 2-piece these out, right, that's an extra 8,000 defense. Plus I do have the Nobly set right here. That's an extra, so that's 9,100 extra to defense. Not including that I'm running, you know what I'm saying, I got Slime King. I got every set imaginable in the damn game. And let me tell you, it is so hard for me to get through this tower. Like, I got access to, like, every set there is. Like, access to everything. And I cannot get through this tower. Like, this tower is ridiculous. Nobody's going to beat this. It's impossible. And shame on Nexon for putting something out this hard. Now, everybody's screaming for a nerf. Like, it does need to be nerfed, but I hope that they don't get carried away. Just cut the boss's HP in half. And I think that solves the problem. Just cut their HP in half, leave it extremely hard like this, because I like it, because it's going to take us a while for us to be able to beat it. It might be a couple months, even with a nerf, before somebody actually beats it. So I'm really excited about that. Let's go over this. They did drop the Christmas package. Do I think it's worth it? Yes. I do believe that it is worth it, just for the simple fact the gold is good. You know what I'm saying? The Mana Stones, nobody cares about that. But the perfect transcending ticket. Now, let me explain what this is, because I've seen some people that were confused and thinking that if you use this perfect transcending ticket, it's going to jump something from a 10 to a 13. No, that's not how it works. How it works is you can use it on any star equipment, on anything that you want to. But, of course, you're going to use it on the 5-star. If you don't use it on the 5-star, you will be wasting it. So definitely use it on the 5-star. I'm definitely going to be getting it to finish my Trinity set and have a full plus 13. So, really excited about that. So, do I think it's worth it? Hell yeah, it's worth it because of the gold. And then you get the tickets. Now, the gold, usually, for 5 million right there, I think that's usually like $40. So, for an extra $10, you get that ticket. So that, hell yeah, that's worth it. So that's a holler at your boy. So you definitely got to get it if you want to get the perfect perfect ticket. Anyways, that about does it for my review for the heroes. I think they're all pretty solid. They are Nexon's own heroes, so they're going to all be pretty good. They're all going to be really good, so definitely worth the investment. Don't buy the sets. Don't buy the packages until we see the last character, because you're going to be upset if you wasted your money on any of their packages and then this super broken amazing character comes from MapleStory and you're going to be like, what the fuck? So don't get caught slipping like that. Be patient, wait, let's see what they have to offer. Anyways, it's your boy, Jay Gutter, in the building. Holla at your boy.